Oh, don't get me banned for that. The Formula Regional Middle Eastern Trophy. This is race number 1 of round number 3 here today. This should be a very, very interesting round. We had qualifying a couple of days ago, and it's Christian Ho who starts on pole position. This race should be very interesting here for the Formula Regional Middle Eastern Trophy. The cars are now out in the paddock. Let's head up to our commentary.
At the Yas Arena circuit with a surprise rain shower that really threw a lot of drivers off. It says, hey, it doesn't rain very often here in the United Arab Emirates. But we've had 2 fantastic qualifying sessions this morning, and we look forward to the first race today. But who will be able to take the win? We'll have to find out when the 28 minutes plus 1 lap comes to an end.
Indeed, we should. Of course, you don't hear Jake Sanson in the commentary box. It's another guy. I have no idea who he is, but I suppose we will wait and find out. The Formula Regional Middle Eastern Trophy here this weekend will be racing at the Dubai Auto Drive. Cars making their way out onto the grid. We are less than 12 minutes away from race start. Let's take a look at the track map, and this is where we're racing this weekend. 5,433 meters of circuit. We've got a few challenging corners for the drivers, and it's genuinely a challenging track. 16 corners, 5,390 meters, and distance from start point to end point, 348 meters overall. Very much a challenging track for our competitors to race at here this weekend. It will be very interesting to see how our competitors will face that challenge as well. So let's take a look at our highlights from qualifying. And we've had a very interesting qualifying session so far.
Well,
very interesting qualifying session so far. Here in qualifying, it was the drivers that had to find their own way around this challenging circuit. And to run you through the highlights, it's our commentary team.
The Dubai track, excuse me. And then in 2 weeks' time, we'll be visiting Qatar. We'll be heading over to the Lusail International Circuit. Qualifying took place earlier today, where we saw Tato Kato take the pole position for our first race. But it wasn't like we had in UAE 4 Series, where we had the same driver take pole position in both qualifying sessions. 32 drivers that took pole position in the respective qualifying sessions. But what's important now is Taito Kato will be the man starting in pole position. So as we did before as well, as we've done in previous years as well, it will be the out lap. They will do a reconnaissance lap, come into the pit lane, do another reconnaissance lap, and then they will grid up in their formation. And we can see that's already underway. The grid is very, very busy here this weekend. We've got 32 Formula Regional Middle East Trophy cars here. And of course, they are the new ones as well, because gone is the Tatuus F3 T318. And now we have the Tatuus T326, powered by a 1.6 litre 3-cylinder Toyota engine, and they all run on Pirelli slick rubber on all 4 corners. That 1.6 Toyota engine is the same engine that's used in the GR Yaris and the GR Corolla, so it's a very potent engine indeed. And this weekend, it has a mighty lyrical tune that you can hear no matter where you are around the circuit or in Motor City. The grandstand is starting to fill up for some exciting racing that is happening over the course of the 2 days. This is day 1. Of course, we have our first race today, and we have race 2 tomorrow, which we set up as a reverse order. And then, of course, we will have the third race today.
Hello, Elizabeth.
Qualifying for earlier today as well, and we'll have a unique pole sitter in that race too. So Taito Kato will be the one that starts in pole position in the 89. He is the, of course, he was a champion already in Formula 4. He was the French
it's going good
in 24.
Pretty good.
And he will actually race this year in the FIA F3 Championships in 2026. Alongside him, though, Alexander Abkazava.
So let's take a run through your grid, and as you heard there, our commentary saying that Taito Kato on pole position, and Alex Abkazava, this man very, very good so far this season, won the first race in these brand new cars in round number 1 of race number 1. It was special for him. The MP Motorsport team celebrated that very much. Welcome in, Elizabeth. Alexander Abkazava, who sits in P2. We've got our P3 runner that is making his way to the grid at the moment. Row 2 of the grid. And you can see the media team there getting shots of the cars as they make their run now to the grid. Welcome in, Elizabeth. How was your night? It is, I'm going to guess it's about 10 past the hour at the moment. Ki Nakamura Berta, the Japanese driver, he sits in position 3 and will be wanting to improve on that position. The Japanese, or now he lives in Britain, the Japanese/British driver sits in position 3. We then head over to position 4. This is Rashid Al Daheri, our championship leader. He can lose all 3 races. 11 minutes past midnight. Oof. Yeah. Our championship leader, Rashid Al Daheri, he can go 3 races without scoring any points and still have the championship lead at the end of this round. But it will be tough for him come Abu Dhabi to win the championship. We'll see how long I survive. Yes. So if you go about 10 minutes without chatting, and I've asked you about 4 questions, I know you've fallen asleep. That'll be an interesting challenge for Elizabeth. Very interesting indeed. Yuki Sano, the RSGP driver, the Chinese driver, should I say, sits in position 4 for the RSGP team as well. Not too much sand on the track, says El Paya within the live chat on the YouTube stream that I'm watching it on. Not much sand on the track. Indeed, there isn't. Emmanuel Olivieri, the RSGP driver, once more sits in position 5 on the grid. Olivieri will be wanting to move his way through the grid whilst he has that opportunity. Best qualifying position for him of the season so far. Then we head down to the sensational Freddie Slater. Sorry, this is Zenru Chi. He sits in position 6. What challenge? Well, it's a challenge for the drivers. Here. Spursy at 51 says we're eating a cheeseburger at 2 a.m. Oh, very good. That's interesting. It's a challenge for the drivers here around this challenging circuit as the ads decide to absolutely ruin the moment. Ah, gotcha. Yes. Don't worry, it's midnight, I understand. We'll be swapping roles except it'll be 5 hours later. Maximilian Popoff, the Jamaican driver, the Trident driver. We'll see how good I go at 5:30 in the morning with my commentary. And having to do a race start as well. We'll see how that unfolds when it comes to that point. We'll see how I fare with doing that. Because I can tell you this much, my commentary could be in the mud. Jesse Carrasquedo, I'm already botching the commentary. MP Motorsport driver sits in position 9 on the grid, just outside the top 10. Well, midnight sucks, I wake up early all the time. Oh, man. Must I say, I feel bad. Alex Ninovich, the Rotor Motorsport team, were very happy last time out. Alex Ninovich won a race. The Australian driver, born and bred in Australia, in the heart of Sydney, in Australia. Here at the Dubai Autodrome, though, it will be a different challenge for himself. Jan Prevazowski, the RPM Motorsport team, they sit in position 12. Very focused on the race ahead, which is 28 minutes plus 1 lap. And once we get, of course, for those people that are wondering, we've got one of the world's biggest endurance races, for myself at least, that I'll be streaming on Sunday. Who is Alex Powell, the Pinnacle Motorsport team. But yeah, the Bathurst 12 Hour, I'll be streaming from 5:35 a.m. on Sunday. That will be split into two halves, so it will be about 6 hours on the first stream and about 4 hours on the second. That doesn't add up. Oh, well, if it doesn't add up, who cares? Who cares? But I know that I'll be doing 5:30 to 1:30 on the first part and 1:30 to 5:30 on the second part. Hopefully that adds up. Jules Russell, the G4 Racing driver, who sits at the moment in position 13. He'll be fighting to try and get that reverse grid pole position. If, of course, he can get the reverse grid pole position, it'll be very handy for himself. This is a big name further back down the grid here. This was, I think, I'd like to say, Ki Nakamura Berta. Sorry, this is not Ki Nakamura Berta. Ki Nakamura Berta's P2 on the grid. Sorry, I apologise on that one. I apologise on my end. I've got that wrong. I apologise on my end. It's been about 4 days since I've done this. I've actually sort of forgotten some of the drivers' names. This is Andrea Dup, the G4 Racing driver, sits in position 14 on the grid. 31 drivers for this race. We're at grid capacity here at the Dubai Autodrome. Grid capacity, of course, supporting the Asian Le Mans Series, the 4 Hours of Dubai, the Asian Le Mans Series this weekend. Round number 3. Race number 1. Next time out, we head to the Qatar International Circuit, Lusail, in a couple of weeks' time. Speaking of a couple of weeks' time, we will be doing that on Tuesday. So we'll be starting the finale on next Tuesday, or Wednesday. We're going to take a couple of days off after the 12 hour. This is what I'd like to say is that's Sebastian Weldon. How did I forget that? Sebastian Weldon sits position 16. Sorry, position 17 on the grid. Forgot some of the drivers' name when you pretty much commentate racing only. Well, I do many of different categories as well. Reza Severukan, who sits at the moment down in position 19 to start this race. Super Motorsport says, when will this race start? We're approximating 4 minutes till race start. Yep. Reno Franca sits at the moment down in position 19 on the grid. He'll be fighting his way through the grid. Yeah, big name. Back down the grid of Sebastian Weldon. He currently sits in position 16. Expect him to make his way through the grid. The team's making their way off the grid now, and the cars will set off for their formation lap. Here. You wait. I will be forgetting a lot of drivers' names when it comes to when the F1 starts up and all that other stuff. I'll be forgetting a lot of drivers' names, especially when it comes to Freck and all that sort of stuff. When that starts all up, it's not good. Not good. We are about 1 minute away from race start. You can see all the fans in the grandstands waiting for these F4 cars to launch off the grid. Drew Blank Music says, Weldon, hammer down. Indeed. He's got to put his head down here and try and make his way through the grid. He's going to be starting P19. The cars set off on their formation lap, and it's going to be important that they try and get as much temperature through the rubber as possible. Through the Pirelli rubber. As they will make their way off the grid and into turn number 1. It's a downhill run into turn number 1. Downhill run. Flick the car left and get on the power early. Should be a very interesting race indeed for the competitors. BTW, make a wheel of dare or something. Make a winner prediction, and if you fail, you have to do it. It would be cool for highlights mostly. Wheel of dare. That would be cool. I would like to see that. That would indeed be cool. That would be very cool to see. Like a wheel of dare. But like, what dares would I put in there? Who is commentating this weekend? I have absolutely no idea. That's Paul Chetney 630 says who is commentating this weekend. I have zero idea. He's up in the commentary box. It can attract new people. It certainly can. I might do it. Taito Kato and Ab Kazawa, P1 and P2. K and B, Kinaka Roberta, and Rashid Al-Tahiri, Yuki Sano, and Emmanuel Olivieri in position 6. Zeno Chi in position 7, and Maximilian Popov in position 8. We've got Chessie Carrasquedo and Alex Ninovic. I don't know, Ice Bucket. Maybe. Jen Perezowski and Ninovic. Alex Powell. Then we've got Jules Russell and Salim Hunter. Eat hot sauce. Ooh. That's okay. Zeno Chi. And we've got Francesco Medico and Sebastian Weldon in position 18. Artem Severukan and Reno Franca in position 20. Kabir Anurag and Dion Gauda in position 22 and 21. Expect Anurag to make his way through the grid. Zeno Chi and Kaya Darianani in position 23 and 24. Andrei Kostic and Fu Yao Hao. And we've got Miguel Costa and Dion Frey in position 28. Maxim Rem and Matteo Gagardi in position 30. That's a butchered name. That's number 1. Zeno Chi and Elisu Felbenetto, who sits in position 31. But yeah, I'm not sure. I might put up a community post and say, give me dares for a stream. My brain is fried. If you asked me 2 hours ago, I would have given you 10 more. I might put up a community post, or do a short, or something like that, and make it known to people. I might do that. That could be a way. Could be a chance that I do that. Drivers making their way to the grid now. Continuing to put tyre temperature in. It'll be critical off the start. See what our competitors can do. As they will make their run into turn number 1. Supporting the Asian Le Mans Series this weekend. For the 4 hours of Dubai for 2026. Heading in now to the penultimate round as YouTube decides to play more ads. Very nice. And also very mean. Very mean. The drivers continuing to make their way on to the grid. There's the medical car in the background. And there is the flag marshal. Wave the green flag at the back of the grid. And we all know the process. Green flag up. Lights on and we go racing. Green flag waves. And the lights will come on. 2, 3, 4. It's a very slow lights formation. It's 5 red lights. And it's lights out. And away we go on a good start from Alex Pizarra. In our pole position man. Taito Kato covers to the left-hand side. And will make his run into turn up 1 as he breaks the slipstream. Moving left, moving right, moving left again. Just being kicked up in the background. And now it's the braking side of turn number 1. Can the drivers and the competitors do it? Yes, they certainly can. As people sweep around the outside as they try and make positions in the opening phase. Drivers up the curb and absolutely attacking the circuit now as they make their run into turn number 2. Good start from Kato, Abkazawa, then it is K&B, Kinakamura Persa, the Japanese driver, in position 3. Holding down 4th is Rashid Altahari, our championship leader. In position 4, watch out for Sebastian Weldon. Salimano looking around the outside, that's for position number 16 on the grid. And the competitors now, foot to the floor. And for the next 27 minutes, hopefully, we will get green flag racing. Now, on the exit of turn number 6, Taito Kato breaking the slipstream, drives up the curb in the background as they continue to fight for position. Kato moving, weaving left and right as he tries to break the slipstream. There is K&B covering for position up inside of his championship rival, which is Rashid Altahari. There, Maximilian Popov in the background, who is also looking for a position and will want to try and cover for this. 4 wide, 5 wide in the background. K&B now. Rashid Altahari looking for the position back into the hairpin. Round the outside, you can see the car getting absolutely flicking sideways. Maximilian Popov will be wanting to take advantage of this. K&B covering, and there's a car from the background. There, in shot there, dust being kicked up, and there's 2 cars off the background. Rashid Altahari, he wants this position back. He's up the inside now. They're side by side on the exit, power down. K&B being pushed wide. Rashid Altahari side by side there. Round the outside, it's still side by side up the curb for Rashid Altahari. Still side by side the 2. As they make their run now into the final corner and power down. And Altahari, he's right there and he's looking for the move. Kin Nakamura Berta. Now, to the outside. Cars kicking up dust in the background. Covering. K&B once more. Rashid Altahari now to the outside. He's absolutely doing very well. The Italian F4 champion to cover off the championship leader in this instance of Rashid Altahari. Popov and Yuki Sano in behind. Whilst all this battling is going on, guess who's getting away? Abkazawa in position 2 and our race leader, Taito Kato, who's doing an absolute amazing job at getting away. That is important. Very, very important for our competitors. We've got green flag racing so far. We're so far so good. And we're 3 minutes and 50 seconds on. King Nakamura Berta in the background. There, he'll be covering. He'll be not wanting to let the championship leader by. As Maximilian Popov covers off Yuki Sano. The 2 GR racing cars side by side on the exit. That's Sano and Olivieri side by side. 3rd place in the rookie standings at the moment, Olivieri. Still side by side on the exit. Sano, Olivieri, car 12 and 73, side by side the 2 GR cars. Then we've got Zenil Chi and Alex Ninovic in position 8 and 9. But so far, so good for the 4th Japanese driver on the grids, Taito Kato. We've got 4 Japanese drivers. Taito Kato was very successful, 3-time champion in the F4 Japanese Championship. Very successful. Moved his way up to immediately, skipped Italian F4 Championship, went straight to Freca, completed that championship, finished inside the top 10, is now here in the Middle East, and on to make his way into F3 this year. Jesse Kawaskato and Preranzowski. Sorry, that is not Preranzowski. I think that is Salimana covering. That's Jan Preranzowski there and Jesse Kawaskato. Having a good old scrap on the exit of turn number 2. As the competitors make their run up into the complex of corners, which is 4, 5, and 6 on the circuit. But yeah, the margin at the top, which is Tato Kato and Alex Abkazava, P1 and P2. Not all the action here from the Formula Regional Middle Eastern Trophy today. I've cut down race number 2. I'm now bringing that back to tonight from 8 o'clock. So, if you can catch it, please do. Of course, top 12 is reversed for race number 2. So, Salim Hanna, at this point, who's sitting in position 12, will be on pole position. Sebastian Weldon, he's made his way up 8 positions in this one. He's up into P17. What a start. That's Darren Gowder covering off one of the GR Racing cars. 22 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Rachel Daheri still all over the back of Key Nakamura Berta. He will be looking for an intensive move as they make them run through the banked section. This section of corners here, very banked. This is turn 10. Have all the races already happened? Yes, they have. So all these races have already happened. They happened about 9 days ago. So yeah, these races already happened, but the races that I will be streaming on Tuesday will be live. They will be live and uninterrupted, apparently, according to YouTube. So I've done pretty well at catching up so far. Done pretty well at catching up, indeed. Kato leads out in front by about a second so far. Adkazava and Kinakama Roberta, leader of the rookies. When you hear that name, you wouldn't think he's a rookie. With his success in the Italian F4 Championship, which of course we all know him from there. No Freddie Slater. Of course. Why was I thinking that was Freddie Slater? What? Oh, flip me. Where did I get Freddie Slater from? Of course there's no Freddie Slater. He's gone to F3. Oh, flippin' heck. Oh, good lord. Good lord. Cool, so the Wheel of Dares would be perfect for an actual live stream commentating. It would. That would be quite cool, actually. That would be quite cool. This race has very much started to calm down a little bit as our competitors face their way around this circuit for 20 minutes of pure racing. This race was lengthed for 25 minutes. We cut it down to 23 minutes due to apparently they were behind schedule at this point. Apparently they were. So it was cut down to 23 minutes to try and save a bit of time here. So only 23 minutes of racing being done for the competitors here today. But I think we'll be extending to 27 minutes tomorrow. Or tonight, should I say. But tomorrow in that world. All the drivers now line astern, making their way down the front straight with 19 minutes and 50 seconds to go. I'm glad you're here, Elizabeth, because I'd be very bored right now if you weren't. I can 100% assure you I'm glad you're here. I'm very much glad you're here. To be honest, I'm always glad when you're here. I always am. Always am. 1 second's the gap. Kato to Adkazava. P1 and P2. 0.9 of a second. And we've got Kinaka Roberta. Of course, I'm glad when I catch up with the stream too. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Miami Buraz says in the live chat replay, but freaking midnight streams are worst. Miami Burrs says Jake Sanson would be absolutely screaming up inside Sunny Manor, and I don't know what I'm talking about. I'd be screaming off one overtake as well. Jake Sanson, who was not at the Dubai weekend, Jake Sanson, who's the normal commentator for this category, says he'd be screaming his balls off by now. I might get banned for that, but it was worth it saying it. Jake would be screaming his lungs out by now. He certainly would be. Says Miami Brewers. He's the normal, because he very much overreacts to everything. And then I also watch a channel who does, there's this guy, Joshua Birch. He lives in Britain. He does all this sort of racing action. And he commentates with Joshua Birch as well sometimes. He's done the Le Mans 24-hour and all that sort of stuff. And he screams his lungs off there. So I'm like, good lord. And I actually hate it. Because every time I go to cut to the world feed, all he's doing is sitting there going, he's screaming his lungs out. I'm like, flippin' heck, mate. Give your voice a break. I think that's why he's not here. Sally Munner now moving defensive. Around the outside he goes. And Carrasquedo, there. He's out in the marble, Sally Munner. And they're now off in the dirt. And off in the backgrounds for Sally Munner. He'll have to give that position back to Carrasquedo. Possibly. And I think he does. He's now under pressure by Andrea Dupe. Carso. He's extended his lead to 1 second. It's quite hot over there in Dubai, apparently. It's about 44 degrees. So, it's a challenge for the competitors as they race in these non-air conditioned cockpits. Because, like, why would you have air conditioning? You don't even have a roof over these cars. Yeah, 44 degrees. Flippin' heck. I know. Jeez. I would not like to be the one that races in these F4 cars. Good lord, and there's contact, and that is around for Sally Munner, and I think it was deep into the corner was Artem Severukem. Deep into the corner as Sally Munner in the process has been taken out. Side by side. On the exit, that is car 11. He's not on our timing screens, so I don't know who the flip car 11 is. Don't ask me. Don't ask me. And that is not good. But 3 wide, one of the MP Motorsport cars. Round the outside, that's Carrasquedo. Carrasquedo and Prerozowski. Side by sides. They were actually 3 wide with the car in front, which was Alex Ninovich. Braking zone. Battle of the braking zones up here sides. In the background, Sebastian Weldon. I think he got the move done there on Alex Powell. Aussie complaining about weather when I'm freezing my... You'd love for it to be 44 degrees right now. Oh, good lord. I'd like to see a British person come to Australia and see 44 degree temperatures. Flippin' heck. Project Arez says that guy completely missed the braking point and crashed into... That was apparently... Severukem. Yes, that was. So that was Severukem and Sebastian Weldon, who was out of this race now. So it wasn't Sally Munner. Stand corrected. It was Sebastian Weldon. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Still green flag racing, says El Paya. Everybody's still here. So the competitors still racing around this circuit. He better get a penalty for that. Indeed, he probably should. I reckon he will. New front wing on the back now of Artem Severukem. And he's just... What happened there? He's just... There's braking boards on the... just on the exit of the corner. Braking boards before the corner. If you miss your braking point, you miss that braking board, you brake out, then you're screwed because you're running into the car in front of you. So yeah, it's a bit of a problem, but, you know, what can you do about that? What can you do? 14 and a half minutes to go. El Paya says no message so far for any full course yellows or safety cars. Competitors still racing around with 14 minutes, 10 seconds to go. Kato is out in front and apparently he's leading by 3 seconds. The gap to Abkazava, the leader of the rookies. Sorry, it's only 1 second. It's now up inside. Goes, I think that was Alex Powell. And oh, that's a car off, and that is a car on the Armco. On the exit of, I think it's the dip down into turn number 9. That car has gone off, and that's not good. There will be a safety car for that if that can't get moving. Powerman MS says incredibly dirty offline. Indeed it is. And I think the Mumbai Falcon of Sebastian Weldon is out of the Grand Prix. That is unfortunate and really disappointing. It's another awful, awful weekend. Surely there's a safety car here. As competitors now knowing that there could be a safety car. So now starting to try and make moves. Have the marshals got to it in time? Was it parked in a safe enough space to not cause a yellow flag or more or less a safety car? Is it parked in a safe enough spot? That is the question. Still green flag for the moment. So I think we are safe for now. Should I say that? Here. 12 minutes, 20 seconds remaining on the clock. Miami Burra says last time Jake Sanson commentated, he screamed so loud half the stream went deaf, so they replaced him. Oh, very good. That's a car pulling off to the left-hand side. That, I'm not sure who that is, but there's a car pulling to the left-hand side, and that is unfortunate. I think that's an Andrea dupe. I think the live chat might actually confirm me of that. I wonder. Yeah, that is unfortunate. That is a car pulling to the left-hand side of the circuit. That is very unfortunate. 11 minutes, 45 seconds to go in the race. And that's Jesse Carrasquedo, who's out of this race. Jesse Carrasquedo pulling to the left-hand side. Quite unfortunately out of the race. I think that's another car pulling to the left-hand side as well. Who's that in the background pulling to the left? I think if there's one more car that pulls to the left here, we might have a safety car be deployed. Hopefully no one comes out of the pit lane. I think they might close pit lane exit for that reason. Hopefully that car is parked in a somewhat safe position. Hopefully. We must confirm that car is parked in a safe position. Pulled behind an Armco, and we could stay green flag racing. So, for now, Severukhem is out of this race as well. That's unfortunate. Severuthan out. So, yeah, there you go. Yellow flags. They're covering it here with the local yellows, ladies and gentlemen. I think. Just covering here with local yellows for now. Must I think. Powerman says... Oh no, he's just deleted it. Jesse Carrasquedo currently sits in not a bad position for the moment. Sadly out of this race though. Another local yellow being covered down here. So there's about 2 local yellows. Let's head down to the world feed here. Let's get more info.
At turn 9. Now, I wonder if this local yellow is also being displayed down towards turn 10, or if the green flag is being shown down there. Because if it is, that's great news for the drivers, because that's an overtaking opportunity still available. If it's not, and there's a yellow down there, then that means that overtaking opportunity is gone. And I also see some debris on the outside of turn 10 as well. Looks like it's far enough the racing line not to cause any harm here at the Dubai Autodrome. Now, it looks like here Nakamura is actually closing on Alexander Abkazava. 7/10 of a second was the gap last time round. Looks a lot closer than that this time round. So it looks like the 15 is going to come under pressure now from Kia Nakamura. This will allow our race leader to kind of escape up the road a little bit here as well and give himself a bit of breathing room between these two here, because now he doesn't have to worry about being attacked by the 15, because now the 51 is applying pressure from the rear. So no longer will Kato have to defend. Instead, he can just breathe a little bit easier, make sure he hits the apexes and continue on his way here. But for Nakamura, the gap is now 8/10 of a second, so it's actually gone up by 1/10 of a second. Chi Chen-Ru, fastest lap last time round there over 1:56.065, so it's an improvement for him. That's his best lap so far in 8th position here across the line. So, up front still by 1.2 seconds, Taida Kato leads here at the Dubai Autodrome, ahead of Alexander Abkazava, who's been currently chased down by Kia Nakamura, our leading rookie in the field here as well. His closest rival, Maximum Popov, has not been able to find a way past Rashid Al-Bahari. Those two separated by 1.7 seconds between them at the moment. 26 cars come across the line. Ducati and Artem are a little bit further back because, of course, they had that contact earlier on. And Sebastian Weldon is shown as the only car currently in the pit lane of our 32 starters here at the Dubai Autodrome. 7.5 minutes remaining, plus one additional lap here around the 5.39 kilometre configuration. And of course, our race leader out in front, the Japanese driver, of course, raced in Formula Regional, Middle East, and of course in Macau as well for ART in 2025. Last year is the F4 champion in France as well, and as we said earlier in the show, he will be racing in FIA F3 this season. Certainly on track to make his way towards F1, and he leads this race by 1.2 seconds at the moment. His highest podium finish so far is not a podium finishing position because it's 5th place. So he hasn't taken the trip to the podium just yet, and his first trip is going to be straight to the top of the podium as well. And he'll be absolutely delighted with that because it'll give him a big boost of confidence going into tomorrow's races as well. Maybe something they didn't quite expect would come his way, but he's led a very clean and methodic race here. Hasn't had to look back very often, hasn't had to defend that position, as now it goes up to 1.6 seconds, so a further 4/10 of a second added between himself and Abkazava, who is continually under pressure now from Nakamura, because those two are separated by 8/10 of a second as they run at the moment. Now, no shuffling at the moment as Abkazava continues on in second for MP Motorsport. Of course, Euro Cup 3 in 2025. He had a win in Portugal in 24, raced in F4 Spain, and of course raced here in F4 UAE all the way back in 2023. It seems like an absolute eternity ago. It was 3 years ago he was racing with us here in the Formula 4 series, which is now known as the UAE 4 series. They had their races earlier today. We'll be racing again tomorrow. They'll have 2 races as well. So back with the race leader, 1.6 seconds is the gap between them. Keep a close eye now on any of our top 10 are being pinged for track limits because more messages are popping up. 1 through turn 13. Alex Powell, our pole sitter for tomorrow's 3rd race, has just received his 3rd warning for track limits. So he needs to be careful because one more and he will incur a penalty, and that's not something you want to have as well. He's currently not in a point scoring position. He's currently in 12th place behind Salim Hala. The current final point scoring position goes the way of the number 8, currently in 10th position overall here at the Dubai Autodrome in what is our first race of the weekend here for the Formula Regional Middle East Trophy. As we sort of settle into a groove there, and you can just see there on the exit is that is one of the sole cars there. I think it's Giovanni Mafcio who unfortunately stopped there, the exit, the car number 99. Across the line we are once again to complete lap number.
Oh, go away, ads. Thank you.
11, sorry, lap number 12. Now we're on lap number 13, aren't we? Because 1.4 seconds is the gap between our top 2. So not much time gained, but not much time lost either between the top two, the 89 and number 15, but it's the 51 we have to keep a close eye on now because, of course, Reginol the hair, sorry, Key Nakamura Berta trying to close up in on Alexander Abkizava as we have more battles a little bit further back when we look here because we've got Maximilian Popov under pressure from Yuki Sano who would like to come through and would also like to be somewhere higher up the order in terms of the points there. The 4/10 of a second at the line between them. That gap is certainly closing up between the two of them as well as they make their way through the first sector on lap number 13 here. Into sector 2 they go, still running line astern, looking for a way on the inside there as well, possibly. Now down the back straight we go here. Looks like Kim Nakamura Berta trying to close the gap up there as well into the braking zone, but it looks like Maximilian Popov may sense an opportunity. Sorry, Yuki Sano may sense an opportunity there on Reginol the Hairy's car there, but not close enough quite yet to make a move. He'll have to wait possibly till turn 16, already at the hairpin, up by turn 12 if he wants to try and find a way through. So we're on lap 13 here. We've got 28 minutes of racing. We've got just over 3 minutes remaining on the clock, plus one additional lap when it comes to the clock saying 0 minutes. So we've elapsed successfully 28 minutes when that has happened. As more drivers being warned about track limits. I thought almost there that one was inside the top 10, but it's car number 17 being warned about track limits. Car number 41 also being warned about track limits, I think, for again, that's Alex Powell, as this battle continues on here. Now, when they come across the line, the gap between Maximilian Popov and Yuki Sano is 3/10 of a second. It was 4/10 of a second than previously, so it is a lot closer. Yuki Sano certainly has the pace, but where can he find that opportunity to pass Maximilian Popov, who had that engine issue in the qualifying session earlier today? Another battle brewing further behind here at the moment. 1/10 of a second was the gap between Alex Powell and Francisco Macedo. Now, is that Francisco, looking for a way around the outside of our pole to the race 3 tomorrow? As Powell shuts the door on him and says, you'll have to wait a couple more corners if you want to get through here, because I'm going to make it as difficult as possible. No points on offer for this position at the moment here in 12th. They need to move up the order ever so slightly if they want to start scoring some points, because of course points go all the way down to 10th position overall, where you get a single point. But of course that single point can make or break a championship come the end of the series here. Which of course in 2 weeks time we'll visit Qatar for the first time in Formula Reginol Middle East Trophy this year. Now, was that Popov again under pressure from Yuki Sano going down towards turn 10? It certainly looked like Sano was very late on the brakes. They're trying to find a way through, but they've got to be careful of Emanuele Olivieri, because he's closing in now as well. He was 1.7 seconds adrift at the line, but looks to be closing up because he's seeing what's happening in front of him, as car 14 will receive a 10-second penalty for causing a collision at turn 10. So that was between 14 and 98. Of course, Sebastian Weldon currently in the pit lane, and we have not seen him come out, and I don't think we will see him actually come out here in this session again. He'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see him tomorrow in our first race for Formula Regional Middle East Trophy. So 52 seconds on the clock, which means we now have 2 laps to go. This is the penultimate lap here for Taito Kato, who is 9/10 of a second. So that gap is actually coming down between himself and Alexander Abkizava. Key Nakamura Berta sits third, still 1.2 seconds, and has built some breathing space between himself and Reginol the Hairy. At the moment, 1.4 seconds is the gap there. Car 29 will also receive a penalty for abusing track limits. I think that's the first one that's popped up. That's August Robert, who did the Golf 12-hour last month here in Abu Dhabi. Raced with a roof over his head for the first time in quite some time, actually, and his first taste of GT racing, and is back now for some more single-seater action. Not the best way to start this weekend. He was also very quick during qualifying, but unfortunately a lot of lap times were deleted from his records due to track limit infringements. Now then, is that gap up front? Is that closing up here? It's 19th of a second at the line. Is it closer than that this time round? As Taito Kato still continues to lead it, as he's done right from the very beginning. 9/10 of a second is the gap between our top 2, with 1.2 seconds back towards the number 51 car there. As Taito Kato leading here, leading for ART Grand Prix at the moment as well. The cars behind him, the Mumbai Falcons have a car at least inside the top 3, but Alexander Abkazava racing for MP Motorsport. So we have 3 different teams in our top 3 here at the moment. And of course, next time round will be the last lap, and now they'll have to turn their attention on when exactly can they take that opportunity to seize a position in front of them. And are there more points on offer, or is there a potential race victory here on offer for Alexander Abkazava? He's going to be very late on the brakes, and he's going to be very, very brave indeed. He can only really do it through turn 1, turn 10, possibly 12, 14 and 16 is where you have to be very late on the brakes if he wants to dive. But unfortunately, he's quite far back now, 1.3 seconds.
Indeed, he is 1.3 seconds from Kato to Abkazava. Currently sits in position number 2. Kinaka Roberta, leader of the rookies at the moment. ART, MP Motorsport, and Mumbai Falcons, who sit in position 1, 2, and 3. They sit line astern at the moment. As the competitors make their run now. Onto the back straight. This is Kato, 1.3 seconds the gap. Don't think there'll be a chance for a overtaking opportunity at the moment. At least I'd like to think there was an opportunity for Kato or Abkazava to make a move. He's got a big enough margin. Japanese driver, Kato, very successful in the Japanese F4. Competed in the FRAC Championship, now here in the Middle East, to make his way to F3. This man as well, part of the Mumbai Falcon team. He will be making his way on to F3 as well. Be a very exciting journey for himself. Here. Abkazava. He would like to win this race. It wasn't true though. It wasn't meant to be. Kato now. Making his run into the final corner. Taito Kato for the Japanese fans. We're very happy for this. And it's Taito Kato who will win in race number 1 of the Formula Regional Middle Eastern Trophy. Kato over Abkazava, Kinaka Roberta, Reginol, Daheri, Popov, Sano, Olivieri, Zenwuchi, Ninovic, and Premanzowski. So a very good race there from the Japanese driver for the ART team. It's another win and another day. Alex Abkazava and Kinaka Roberta in position 3. Very nicely done. Very nicely done indeed. Here in race number 1 of the championship. For round number 3 of this amazing series. As the drivers will make their run now back to the pit lane. Once more. What a race. And the Japanese team will be very, very good indeed. Dang, I didn't know you were going to go live. I thought you said it was cancelled. No, so that was yesterday's stream. That was yesterday's. Oh, good lord. That was yesterday's stream. That was yesterday's. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm not a day ahead. I'm a day ahead. Yeah, no, I thought you meant like I'm a day ahead of streaming. I'm like a day behind in my streaming schedule right now. Yeah, I'm a day ahead. So, like, that really only happened for you 12 hours ago. Oh, well, you missed out on the whole entire race. I always forgot I always forget. Lol, my bad. All good. Yeah, you missed out on the whole entire race, so... It literally just ended. I did text you on Discord. Dang, who got P1? It was the Japanese driver, Taito Kato. Finishing that one in position number 1 as well. So yeah, very, very good race indeed. For the competitors here today. Yeah, race number 1. Let's take a look at the highlight for the results. Sorry, Kato, Abkazava, then our leader of the rookies, King Nakamura, Roberto, Rashid Aldeharry, Maximilian Popov, Yuki Sano, Emmanuel Olivieri, Zonal Cheap, Alex Ninovich, and Jan Peranzowski. Then we've got Sani Mana, Alex Powell, Madiko, Dup, Gauda, Anurag, Russell, Ram, Kai Darianani, and Reno Franco. And Enya Frey, Kostic, Costa, Yao, Raybar, Neto, Gagachi, Severukem, and Maschio, and Sebastian Weldon, quite unfortunately, not finishing this race. Ends up in the pit lane at the end of the race. But what a race we've had today. I've got an idea. What if you start each stream with the current standings from your chart thing, just so everyone can see the same page kind of thing. Yeah, that probably won't be a bad idea. Yeah, probably not a bad idea. Might do that. But yeah, so Taito Kato, if he can actually squeeze through here, he's actually he can't fit into the position. He can't fit into victory lane here. So they're having to move King Nakamura Roberto's car out of the way to let Taito Kato in, which is a bit of a problem. But I'm sure the teams down there will fix that, and he'll be able to fit into his position 1 slot. But yeah, Taito Kato and King Nakamura Roberto and Alex Adkazava, who won race number 1 of round number 1, and is now came second. So this is his second podium. Third podium so far this year. And there he is, celebrating. The Japanese driver has not got a podium in his Formula Regional career. Yes, in his career. And what a way to do it, to win a race and be on the top step of the podium. Not in the third step, not in the second step, but at the top step. See the emotion in his face as well. The moment you win your first real free-to-series category win, it feels like you've won the championship. Let me tell you that much. I don't have experience in it, but I can tell you this much. It feels like that way. Yeah, what a race for the Honda driver. What a race. Now we've got track commentary as well. And you'll be able to hear all the action happening in the background. For those people that are interested. At the moment, all you can hear is wind. But yeah, the podium will be getting underway in not too long of a time. We'll get the highlights package up for you in a few minutes, and we'll explain you through that. But yeah. So don't go anywhere, because of course we do have race number 2 later today. Later tonight from 8 o'clock Australian Eastern Daylight Time. So catch that as well, if you possibly can. It might be a bit late for you. Fire, indeed. So yeah, race number 2 will be happening from 8 o'clock tonight. And of course, race number 3 on Saturday after the top 10 shootout for the Bathurst 12 hour. Race number 1 started with a few clouds up in the air, and that meant it was time to go racing for the Formula Regional Middle Eastern Trophy. We had all the cars out on the grid as they chat to the engineers, and we went lights out for race number 1 of round number 3. Kato got to a good start, and it was Alex Abkazava who slotted into second position. Kato covered and broke the slipstream as he made his way into turn number 1. Competitors fought over position as they now hit the braking zone. And on the exit, all up the curb, and the competitors continue to find their way around the circuit and wanted to make positions just in case there was a safety car, like there has been in a few past rounds. Cars cutting the corner down there at turn number 3. But apart from that, everybody seemed to get a pretty good start. And Kato led for most of this one. Welcome in Harrison. Sebastian Weldon climbing up the curb as he tried to make his way up the grid. Better contact wheel to wheel. More contact wheel to wheel as Sebastian Weldon and Sally Mana, the two Mumbai Falcons, battled out. Jan Perazowski and Sally Mana battled again. Teams noting what the cars feel like, as that was Sally Mana cutting the track. This man was in a lot of action so far. Then, this move, big brake failure from Carrasquedo. hit the back of Sebastian Weldon. Broke the rear left suspension. That car was somehow able to move. New front wing, and sadly, this man, Sebastian Weldon, with major suspension damage, was out of the race. We had a few mechanical failures out there. Nothing to bring oil onto the track, but there was a few local yellows that were covered with those incidents. A car parked outside of the pit lane. We thought there was going to be a safety car. There eventually wasn't. How am I going? I'm going pretty good, man. King Nakamura continued to chase down Alex Kazawa, but this man was just unstoppable. Taito Kato led from lights out to the flag at the finish. The Japanese driver struggled to get into victory lane, but in the end, he won race number 1. What a race. What a weekend we've had so far. It's only been one race. Here, thank you to everybody that's joined so far. Thank you to Adam, who joined about an hour late. Thank you to Harrison, who joined about an hour late. Thank you to Elizabeth, who arrived perfectly on time. We're racing here this weekend at the Dubai Autodrome. And let's now head down to the podium celebrations.
2026 Formula Reginol Middle East Trophy certified by the FIA. Round 3, Dubai Autodrome, Race 1. Congratulations to the winning drivers. In third position, the number 51 from Mumbai Falcons Racing Limited, Keen Nakamura Berta. In second position, the number 15 from MP Motorsport, Alexander Abkizava.
Nope.
And our winner, the number 89 for ART Grand Prix, Taito Kato. And before we hand out some trophies, I'd also like to highlight our Rookie Cup winner, the number 51 from Mumbai Falcons Racing Limited, Keen Nakamura Berta. To help us present some trophies, it is now my honor to invite Giovanni Delfino, Corners Group CEO, to present the trophies for our 3 winners and our rookie winner as well. He has handed the third place trophy, which goes the way of the number 50.
Ads! Go away!
51, Kian Nakamura Berta for Mumbai Falcons Racing Limited. He'll hand over the second place trophy to the number 15 driver from MP Motorsport, Alexander Abkizava. And last but not least, he'll hand over the winner's trophy to Taito Kato.
I'm just playing my uncle's
iRacing
VR
one more
Supercar
trophy
game.
that goes the way of our Rookie Cup winner, Keen
Cool.
Nakamura Berta.
Harrison, I'll text you after stream to talk about some stuff
Now
that happens throughout the holidays.
picture.
You know.
Do you want to have one together? Yep. And drivers, remember to look directly at the camera as well. So we have a nice group photo of you all. And now if you look down as well, you remember to face the camera as well and hold those trophies up high.
So the drivers now getting photos on, and the competitors now will celebrate in style as we get ready to spray some fizzy on the podium. Let's get celebrating, ladies and gentlemen. So what a race it's been as the competitors have challenged themselves in 40-degree heat over there in Dubai. But now they get to celebrate on the top step of the podium. What a day. What a day it has been. We very much enjoyed all of your company. Thank you to everybody that joined in throughout the live stream here today. Thank you to Harrison, thank you to Adam, and of course thank you to Elizabeth, who arrived absolutely pitch perfectly on time, even though I was 5 minutes early to starting. But yeah, that was a very fun stream. Hope you guys can all join again tonight, actually, from 8 o'clock. So yeah, that'll be interesting for race number 2 of this round number 3. But yeah, that's it for today. That's it for today. That's it for the moment. We will be back in a couple of hours for race number 2 for the Formula Regional Middle Eastern Trophy. And of course, this weekend, we are live for the Bathurst 12 hour, which of course, race number 3 will be happening straight after the top 10 shootout for the Bathurst 12 hour. I'll try, but I think it'll be super late here. It certainly will. To buy out, I'm at Bathurst. I hate you. I hate you with a passion. I hate you. I hate you with a passion. You're at Bathurst right now. I hate you with a passion. I hate you with I hate you with every passion in my bones. Oh, I hate you with every passion. Like right at this very second, it's 5:07 at Mount Panorama right now. You know, actually, let's Harrison. I'll text you. Don't worry. I'll text you. Sucks to be you're at Bathurst and you're not. Ha. You know what? I'm gonna have some words to say. I have a message. But yeah, the Bathurst 12 hour will be happening, of course, this weekend. And race number 3 will be happening straight after the top 10 shootout. So yeah, that should be very fun. I'm quite excited. But yeah, that's it for the Formula Regional Middle Eastern Trophy. We'll be back in a couple hours, in about 3 hours' time, for race number 2. Till then, it's goodbye.